Namaste viewers and my dear readers, I am Siddhi, your very own book cobbler, and welcome to Wordsmith, a show that is dedicated only to books, only on nationalkhabar.com. I have given you all tons of bookish recommendations, but this video is solely dedicated to thriller and investigative journalism lovers. आज के इस वीडियो में हम उस किताब के बारे में बात करेंगे जो कि एक पॉलिटिकल थ्रिलर है, जो कि इन्वेस्टिगेटिव जर्नलिज्म है, जो कि काफ़ी ज़्यादा सस्पेंस से भरी है एंड आई एब्सोल्युटली लव्ड रीडिंग दिस बुक. This book is a true crime. It is based on the murder of Sweden's Prime Minister Olof Palme, and this book is penned by John Stocklassa. This book is called as The Man Who Played with Fire. Now, this book is basically divided into two parts. Part first consists of investigation done by author Stieg Larsson. He was a former journalist. उनकी किताब द गर्ल विद द ड्रैगन टैटू काफ़ी मशहूर है, शायद आपने पढ़ी भी होगी. He does the investigation from point zero. This investigation is taken forward 10 years later by the author of this book, Stocklassa. India is a country that has witnessed assassinations of many politicians. But is assassinations में most of the times we have seen that the culprits accept their crime. In case of Sweden's Prime Minister's murder, there was nobody around when he was murdered. He didn't even have his bodyguards around him on that night. His wife, who was alongside him, she doesn't remember the face of the murderer. The area was secluded where he was murdered. There was hardly anybody around. We are talking about the times of 1980s, जब CCTV cameras and all other technologies were not available. Palme was a man who was controversial. उन्होंने लिए गए डिसीजंस काफ़ी ज़्यादा हेट क्रिएट कर चुके थे उनके कंट्री में. He had most number of haters. He was also involved in political conspiracies such as Bofors scam. Another thing is that he was on the radar of many secret agencies. So who was it who actually killed him? When I was reading this book, I was literally clueless about the murderer. The investigations done by Larsson and that by Stocklassa would arrive at a conclusion. वो हमें एक नाम देते थे and the reason, the motive behind the murder. But when you would further into investigation, you would realize that this person's cause for murder was much lesser than the other suspects that are put on the list. Larsson made a list of haters of the Prime Minister, but his investigation did not lead him anywhere. His investigation went on for over 10 years. Over 10 years, there was no lead in this case. There were only culprits that were caught on the basis of suspicion. How much was their role in the murder of the Prime Minister, that was unknown. Further into this book, you will realize that जब Stocklassa takes up the case, he literally puts himself on the line of fire. He goes against the tides and he tries to track down the murderers. In a way, he is successful in finding who the murderer possibly is. In fact, the murderer is said to have confessed the crime. Here is the catch. No political party of Sweden is ready to accept the murderer. They all have a political motive behind this. No one wants to close this case. They all have an aim, which is to keep this murder a mystery. Up until 2019, the author was doing a thorough follow-up. I am clueless as to whether this tragedy has reached a conclusion or no. But for me, this book was a complete page turner. I was literally hooked to the books. मैं अपने लैपटॉप से बिल्कुल भी नहीं हिली थी. The only breaks that I was taking while reading this book was to sleep, to eat and the loo breaks. This book is actually that gripping. And believe me, it's unpredictable. आपको पता ही नहीं चलने वाला है how Stocklassa carries forward the investigation. If you have loved The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo of Stieg Larsson, then you should definitely read this book. If you are a fan of true crime, this book is for you. If you love political thrillers, this book is for you. If you love suspense, this book is for you. This book is for everybody who wants to read a good investigative journalism piece. This is a thorough, satisfying read in my view. So make sure that you pick up this mammoth of a book soon, read it, and let me know what are your thoughts on it. So that's it for today. I hope you enjoy this book when you pick it up. और अगर आप ये book enjoy कर रहे हैं तो I'm sure that you will be thanking me somewhere. And if you want to discuss this book with me, then I'm totally available on Instagram. That is book_gobbler. आप search कर सकते हैं for Siddhi. And please do make sure that you like and subscribe all the channels of nationalkhabar.com. I will be back with yet another bookish episode only on nationalkhabar.com in our show that is dedicated to books, which is called as Wordsmith. Till then, आप safe रहिएगा, पढ़ते रहिएगा. Happy reading. Bye bye.
हमसे जुड़े रहने के लिए सब्सक्राइब करें यूट्यूब पर, फॉलो करें ट्विटर और इंस्टाग्राम पर, लाइक करें फेसबुक पर और ज़्यादा जानकारी के लिए नेशनल खबर की वेबसाइट पर जाएं. आपको टाइप करना होगा सिर्फ नेशनल खबर.